Malta kind of has it all. There's the natural beauty, the year-round sunshine, and all that European charm.
If only it was just a little less expensive.
Yeah, if only. If you're new to our channel, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Gillian. We're a couple who saved and invested our way to early retirement, and now we travel the world full-time. And we want to inspire you to have more freedom and more adventure in your life.
To everyone following our story, thank you for coming back for another episode. We are having yet another beautiful day here in Malta.
If you've been following us for a while, you'll know that we gave up our home, sold everything that we owned, and began a life of slow travel.
Since we started traveling in 2019, we have had so many amazing experiences. We've hiked across the turquoise coast in Turkey, we've watched the sunrise over the Acropolis in Athens, and we've enjoyed the cafe culture on the Dalmatian coast of Croatia.
All of these experiences have been amazing, and we're looking forward to at least a few more years of full-time travel. We've got a long list of countries that we want to visit.
But what happens after that? So we know that a time will come when we want to feel more settled. Also, full-time travel is not an easy lifestyle. Even though we love exploring new cultures and new landscapes and trying all the new food, there is a lot going on in the background just to ensure that we have a new destination and a new home every single month.
We're constantly planning logistics to get in and out of countries. We have to find an Airbnb that we can be happy and comfortable in for a whole month. And when that month is up, all of our worldly possessions need to be crammed into 2 suitcases.
With that in mind, whenever we go to a new destination, we're always evaluating its potential as a home base. So our long-term plan for early retirement is that we still travel and we still explore the world, but we also have a place to call home for most of the year. So every time we arrive somewhere new, we ask ourselves, could this be a good home for us?
We've been in Malta for over a month. It's a pretty small country, so by now we've traveled all over. We've sampled the local food, we've hiked the coast, and we visited more than a few historic sites. So the big question is this a place that we could call home?
We've come up with 5 reasons why Malta is a great place to settle long term. So we're going to talk about the beautiful landscapes, the climate, the gorgeous architecture. But despite all of the reasons to make Malta home, there are also a few drawbacks. So we will take you through those at the end of the video. Once you've heard our reasons, the pluses and the minuses, let us know if you'll be putting Malta on your consideration list.
The #1 reason why Malta is a great place to call home: year-round sunshine. It's actually one of the sunniest places in Europe, which makes sense because it's in the middle of the Mediterranean, just below Italy. Since we retire early, we discovered just how important the weather is. When we were working, we spent the vast majority of the day cooped up in an office. But now that we're retired, we spend a lot of time outside discovering new cities and hiking the nearest mountain. So if it's cold and rainy, that can really put a damper on our activities.
Not only is Malta sunny, it's also warm. So we're here in the dead of winter. It's January, and the temperature is usually around 16 degrees Celsius or 60 Fahrenheit with a little bit of rain and cloud. So it's not exactly tropical weather, but it's much warmer than the rest of Europe. In fact, one day we were on the top of a cliff and we were just wearing t-shirts and we thought, it's beautiful now, but it must be really chilly here in the winter. And then we remembered it was winter, and that's as cold as it gets.
The next reason why Malta could make a great base is all the natural beauty. Malta's an island, so it offers miles of beautiful coastline to explore. And because it's a small island, you're never too far from a great hiking trail.
The nearby island of Gozo is even more rugged and natural, and it's pretty easy to get to from Malta. So we rented a car and popped over there for the day by taking the ferry, and then we just spent a beautiful afternoon hiking the cliffs.
And even right in the center of the city, there's plenty of natural beauty. We have a daily walk with our dogs on the beautiful beach that's just a few steps from our Airbnb.
And of course, in the warmer season, which is actually most of the year, Malta has countless little coves and beaches to discover, so you can just spend the day enjoying the sun and having a dip in the sea.
Next up is the architecture. Malta has a long and rich history, and you can see it everywhere. So it's been ruled by the Phoenicians, the Romans, Arabs, Normans, Knights of St. John, France, and most recently, Britain.
We spent many hours just getting lost in the historic city of Valletta, which is quite a bustling and vibrant place, and it's been just beautifully preserved. We also explored Medina, which is the former capital of Malta, and it feels like a town that was just frozen in the 16th century.
Of course, the rest of the country is dotted with charming villages and lovely churches. Everywhere you look, you'll see the distinctive architectural style of Maltese balconies, and almost all the buildings are built of limestone that gives all the towns and villages the same beautiful golden color.
Malta also offers a very appealing lifestyle. So there's a strong cafe culture where locals are out enjoying their afternoon coffees. The main cities are very pedestrian friendly. So there's a beautiful waterfront walk that goes on in kilometers in both directions. And everyone is out walking or jogging or taking their dog for a stroll. There are lots of entertainment options, so restaurants with great views of the Mediterranean, cathedrals, museums, ancient ruins.
Because it's an island, there's also ample opportunity for water sports. While the weather has been a little chilly while we've been here, we did see some brave souls having a swim. And of course, Malta is famous for its amazing dive sites, and in general, there are all sorts of opportunities to be out enjoying the sea.
The fifth reason we love Malta is the opportunity for local integration. So the first language of Malta is actually Maltese, but English is widely spoken thanks to over 150 years as part of the British Empire. So with so many English speakers, it's really easy to navigate the basics like grocery shopping, getting a cab, ordering in a restaurant. In fact, the signs and menus are mostly all in English.
This makes things like shopping for groceries a very different experience than in a place like the Ukraine, for example, where the language doesn't even use the Roman alphabet. All this means that it's easier to make friends and build community during a longer stay. Language isn't a barrier.
So those are a lot of great reasons to choose Malta as a home when you want to retire early, but there are also a few considerations to keep in mind. Malta is ultimately a very small country. It's just the 3 islands with a total population of less than 500,000. Because it's small, there are only so many places to discover.
And because it's an island, it's an effort to go anywhere else. There are direct flights to a few cities in Europe, but after that, you're looking at a lot of connections if you want to go further.
The main island of Malta is also very developed. So as Canadians, we're used to having those vast expanses of wild nature to explore. Here in Malta, you take 20 steps and you're actually already in the next village.
Malta is also very expensive relative to other places that you might consider for early retirement, like Thailand or Turkey. When you look at Numbeo, which is the website that we use to compare the cost of living in different destinations, Malta is definitely on par with other high-cost countries in Europe or North America.
Certainly, we're paying one of the highest Airbnb rates here versus all of the other places we've stayed in the past year. So you can check out the cost of our apartment and all of our costs for Malta in the video coming out in a couple weeks. That said, if you were staying long-term, the cost for accommodations would most likely be less. So, Gillian, does Malta make it onto your list of places where we might make a home one day?
Well, I really loved our cliff hikes, the little historic villages, the views of the Mediterranean in just about every direction. So let's keep it on our consideration list for the future.
So I'm right there with you. I did love the natural beauty. I loved our long walks every morning on the beach. I'm a little stuck on the cost of accommodation. That might make me think twice. Anyway, if you like this video and you want more on Malta, we recommend watching the next one right here. It's about how we chose Malta as our latest destination. So you can go ahead and click on it now.